Alrighty, sixth graders, let's take a look at our lesson today. So today we're looking at lesson 5, and I know it says creating division stories, but we are kind of going to use this as just a practice, or just a way to practice our fraction division. So let's look at that first example. So we have a tape diagram, or it says that we need to use a tape diagram to divide 8/9 divided by 2/9. So we're going to use that tape diagram and we're going to divide it into ninths. And we're going to shade in 8/9. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 8/9. And then we're going to divide our 8/9 into groups of 2/9. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So since we can divide our group of 8/9 into 4 groups of 2/9, that tells us that 8/9 divided by 2/9 is equal to 4. So our next one says to use a number line. So this is a method that we haven't really used yet, but let's take a look at it. So it says Molly's friend Xavier has 11/8 cups of strawberries. He needs 3/4 cups of strawberries to make a batch of tarts. How many batches can he make? So we're going to draw our number line. I'm going to start at 0. And we know that 11/8 is somewhere between 1 and 2. So we know that we have to have 1 and 2 on our number line. And since we're working in eighths, we're going to have kind of eighths in between each number. Oops, fix that, there we go. So we have eighths in between each number. I'm going to make my whole numbers a little bit bigger so I can see them. And then I'm going to kind of shade in 11/8. So, or I'll find 11/8, sorry. So I know 1 is 8/8. So I have 8, 9, 10, and 11/8. It's going to be right there. So that is 11/8. Then it says that he needs 3/4 cups of strawberries. So we need to divide into groups of 3/4. Well, it might be a little bit tough to divide into groups of 3/4 since we're working with eighths, but we know that 3/4 is equal to 6/8, right? We know that those are equivalent fractions. So we're going to divide into groups of 6/8. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 6/8 and this is 6/8. So we know that we have one whole group of 6/8 and then we have one partial group of 6/8. But since it's a group of 6/8 and we have 5 of them shaded in, this would be 5/6, right? So he has 5/6 of what he needs. So in total, he could make 1 and 5/6 batches. Since it's a word problem, I'm going to label my units, which is batches, and then I'm going to box my answer. So those are kind of our first two big methods. So let's look at one more. We might look at two if we have time. So we're going to kind of ignore all of the steps that are on here because we're not going to worry about writing division problems or writing division word problems. We're just going to practice our dividing. So for this step, for this example, we're going to divide with our, we're going to divide with our numbers. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it down here so I have a little bit more space. So I have 1/2 divided by 1/8. So if you remember, when we're dividing a fraction, we are multiplying by the reciprocal. So remember what that means is we take our second number. So we have 1, and I'm going to pretend that this is 8. I don't have 8 fingers, so I can't show you an 8 down here. I have 1/8, and I'm going to make it its reciprocal, or I'm going to flip it on its head to make it 8/1, 8 over 1, or 8. So we'll have 1/2 times 8 over 1, which is the same as saying 1/2 times 8. And we know that if we divide 8, or if we multiply 1/2 times 8, it's like we're taking 8 and cutting it in half. And half of 8 is 4. So we know that 1/2 divided by 1/8 is equal to 4. Let's look at one more example. We'll look at example 2. Again, I'm going to move this down here. So I have 3/4 divided by 1/2. Rewrite this. So again, I'm going to multiply by my reciprocal. So my first number stays the same, and I multiply, and then I take that 1/2 and I flip it on its head, and it becomes 2 over 1, or 2. And then I can multiply straight across. So I multiply 3 times 2, which gives me 6, and I multiply 4 times 1, which gives me 4. And then I need to simplify. So I know that I can divide both of these numbers by 2. And I end up with 6 divided by 2 gives me 3, and 4 divided by 2 gives me 2. So I end up with 3/2. I'm going to simplify a little bit further and turn this into a mixed number. I know that in 3/2 there is 1 whole with 1/2 left over. So 3/4 divided by 1/2 is going to equal 1 and 1/2. Alrighty. So the rest of the stuff that's on here, so this exercise 1 part, you don't need to worry about. All of those steps you don't need to worry about. And then this whole second page, you don't really need, or this whole third page, sorry, you don't really need to worry about. We're not going to do anything with that. So all those steps we don't really need, but that's okay. Alrighty. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm here to help. But yeah, so today is just kind of practicing what we've been talking about for the last couple of days. So for your guided practice, for your independent practice, I want you to try to use all 3 methods at least once, but you can kind of pick and choose which methods work best for you. Just make sure you show your work so I can see how you did it. Alrighty, 6th graders, have a fantastic day.